Hello, I'm Dr. GlendaOschner, and I'm going to be your instructor for Ecology and Evolution this term. Now I know some of you looked at your schedule and you said, oh no, a science course. Well, yes, it is a science course because it falls that way under the general education requirements, but I promise you a fun science course. It's actually divided into two different kinds of topics. That's no surprise since we called it Ecology and Evolution. We're going to have 4 units. The first unit will be Ecology. Now you've heard a lot about this, so this won't be new information to you. You're going to know a lot of it. You live it every day. You know what green is. It's no longer a color. It's a concept. You know all about pollution. Most of you know about climate change. Many of you have heard all about the poor polar bears. We have lots of things going on that we're going to be talking about. After we finish that, we're going to spend 3 units talking about evolution. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. Some of you are going to tell me you absolutely cannot accept the concept of evolution. That's fine. That's your privilege, and I won't ask you to change your mind. I am going to ask you to do one thing for me, though. I want you to be able to talk about what evidence exists for evolution, where the gaps are in that evidence, and what some of the other sides of the question are. We're going to do that with everything we talk about in class. We're going to look at the evidence, we're going to look at all sides of the evidence, and then you can make up your minds for yourself what things you think are appropriate to put into your belief system and what things you don't want to accept right now. Now let me tell you one other thing about the class. Some of you think science is something you talk about, you forget. It's sort of like trigonometry and some of those other things that you know you learn but you never use. We're going to use the things in this class a lot. You're going to hear about them all the time. Things like stem cell research, things like genetic engineering, things like DNA, even the CODIS system. That's what law enforcement does. I hope none of you have ever had to encounter having DNA taken and CODIS run. That means you weren't really very nice one time. But we're going to look at a lot of things. Some of them have political implications. Some of them have medical implications. And even if you never want to think about evolution, there's lots of information that you need to know, that you use every day, and I think that you will think is very fun. I also will do something else for you during this class. I read a lot, so I like to share the things I read with you. Sometimes that's a newspaper, and I'll tell you new things that are coming up. I also read novels. You know, some of the things we talk about in science show up in novels, and we're going to talk about that too. As I say, we're going to have fun this semester, even if it does say science. So let's get started and get on with class.